Well, I read yesterday that she's just very disliked by the people that hold the golden key to getting into the gala, and that's basically Anna Wintour. I think Anna Wintour did sort of give her the hand of friendship in the beginning, but she is as former editor of Vogue and now overall sort of champion of fashion. She runs the Met Gala as her own private party.
Anna Wintour didn't send a rejection letter. She didn't need to. The absence itself was the message. Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, was not at the Met Gala. Not sidelined, not overlooked by accident. According to royal biographer and Majesty magazine editor Ingrid Seward, she is, and this is the precise word used, disliked by the very people who hold what Seward called the golden key to fashion's most powerful room. Think about what that means for a moment. Not unknown, not uninvited due to scheduling. Disliked by the gatekeepers. That is not a closed door. That is a locked one.
I think, in a way. And if she doesn't want Meghan there, Meghan won't be there. And it is a blow because even if Meghan didn't want to go, she needs the kudos of being seen there, because that would really up her rate and make her, a proper person in the fashion world, because that's what she's trying to do when she sells her rather tacky clothes off the back of some visit she's doing, purporting to be a quasi-royal. And then everything she's wearing is for sale. I mean, it's a clever idea, but I don't think it's a very elegant idea.
Before we go deeper into what the record actually shows, make sure you're subscribed to Case and Consequence.
No, and this will hurt the Duchess, won't it? Because she likes to think that she has connections in the fashion world. She, of course, attended Paris Fashion Week. As you said, she has ambitions in the world of fashion retail. This is an important project for her, and she's been thwarted at what is the biggest event of the year.
Well, I'm sure, we read that she's been thwarted. Maybe she never even wanted to go. But I absolutely agree with you. She needs to be seen there because it will give her the kudos to flog her own brand. And she's always been very interested in fashion. In fact, she is a very...
Because we don't just cover the story. We follow the evidence. Here is the visual that defines everything that follows. Imagine someone building a house on a foundation they don't own. Every room is decorated perfectly. The curtains are pressed, the table is set. But the land belongs to someone else. And one day, without a single word, the owner simply changes the locks. That is the Sussex brand in 2026. Meghan attended Paris Fashion Week. She launched a lifestyle brand. She wore clothes on a humanitarian visit to Australia and listed them for sale online, minutes after photographing herself consoling victims of the Bondi Beach attack.
Well, I very much understand that Meghan doesn't take advice. Meghan only does what Meghan wants. And she obviously either didn't think it through or didn't think it mattered. I don't think she would have taken any advice. Somebody might have given her that advice, but, she does what she wants, as we well know.
And is there a theme emerging here, Ingrid, of celebrities and important figures in the world of business and entertainment ditching the Sussexes? Because we know that Harry and Meghan were close, for example, to Elton John and David Furnish back in the day. Well, that seems to have...
Ingrid Seward called it tacky. The word she chose was not dramatic. It was clinical. Tacky.
Stylish dresser. But I thought the clothes that she was flogging off, wearing on their trip were actually pretty ordinary. And I don't think she looked very good in them. And I just feel it's just really wrong for her to be trying to sell her clothes off her back. I think that's, for anyone to do that, if fine. But if you're sort of purporting to be a royal princess, which, like it or not, she still is,
yes,
I just think it's very tacky.
Yes, her strategy doesn't appear entirely coherent, does it? And I'm not sure who advised her to meet victims of the awful Bondi Beach atrocity and to sell those exact clothes that she was wearing whilst hugging victims on the internet minutes later.
And here is where the ticking clock enters the frame. If the most powerful figures in fashion, in Hollywood, and in philanthropy are actively distancing themselves, the Obamas, the Clooneys, Elton John, Oprah, Gwyneth Paltrow, and now Anna Wintour herself.
Emerging here, Ingrid, of celebrities and important figures in the world of business and entertainment ditching the Sussexes. Because we know that Harry and Meghan were close, for example, to Elton John and David Furnish back in the day. Well, that seems to have gone cold. Lots of other celebrities, the Obamas, the Clooneys, Oprah Winfrey, Gwyneth Paltrow. It seems like this couple engage famous people and then lose them. I could also throw in the Kardashians, with whom they fell out last year over Kris Jenner's 70th birthday celebrations.
Absolutely. I think that Harry and Meghan, or particularly Meghan, let's say, feels that, these celebrities need her. They need her to give them a bit of burnish. And actually, of course, they don't need her at all. And the minute that she does something to irritate them, they dump her because they don't want to be seen to being attached to someone that's so undeniably unpopular, especially in Hollywood.
Then the question is not whether the Sussex brand is struggling. The question is, what happens to a public platform built entirely on proximity to powerful people?
Have gone cold. Lots of other celebrities, the Obamas, the Clooneys, Oprah Winfrey, Gwyneth Paltrow. It seems like this couple engage famous people and then lose them. I could also throw in the Kardashians, with whom they fell out last year over Kris Jenner's 70th birthday celebrations.
Absolutely. I think that Harry and Meghan, or particularly Meghan, let's say, feels that, these celebrities need her. They need her to give them a bit of burnish. And actually, of course, they don't need her at all. And the minute that she does something to irritate them, they dump her because they don't want to be seen to being attached to someone that's so undeniably unpopular, especially in Hollywood.
When those people stop returning the calls, tacky. Seward's analysis of the Netflix show is methodical and worth examining closely. A lifestyle production with no household names, no Serena Williams, no Obamas.
Well, yes, it really surprised me when her Netflix show was announced, With Love Meghan, Ingrid, that didn't feature a single household name celebrity. I mean, I expected Elton to turn up for a latte, or the Obamas or the Clooneys or whoever you like. Serena Williams, of course. There are plenty of others who were absolutely noticeably absent from that TV show. The only supposedly big name she had was a woman called Chrissy Teigen, who was a notorious internet troll.
I must say, I couldn't face watching all that. I mean, I did try and watch it, obviously, professionally, but it was just so nauseating. I just thought, this is just ridiculous.
The one prominent guest, Chrissy Teigen, arrived carrying her own significant public controversy. Seward's verdict on the show's central problem was not about production value or ratings.
I know, Ingrid, I know I know your body is a temple, but did it turn you to drink?
No, it didn't turn me to drink. But I just sort of thought, what is this all about? What is this woman trying to do? It's all so fake. And she just doesn't have that kind of warm personality that I feel that you need when you're trying to show people your cooking skills.
It was simpler than that. She said Meghan does not have the warm personality required to make that format work.
What is this all about? What is this woman trying to do? It's all so fake. And she just doesn't have that kind of warm personality that I feel that you need when you're trying to show people your cooking skills.
How do you think Charles and Camilla's trip to the United States will have gone down in Montecito, California? There were rumours from the royal journalist Rob Shooter that Harry didn't watch his father's speech to both houses of Congress.
Not the team, not the concept, the personality. That is a forensic observation,
Not an insult, a diagnosis. Meanwhile, King Charles addressed a joint session of Congress. Queen Camilla stood in the chamber. By multiple accounts, the speech was received as one of the finest diplomatic performances of his reign.
It's true, and she never craved being queen. It's just that she loved Charles.
Never did. No, and she wasn't born into it. She was 50 years old when she really came into the centre of the royal world. And, also she doesn't have the energy of the Windsors. I mean, we've seen what energy Charles has. And he bounces from one thing to the other, and apparently even on the plane over to Bermuda, he's reading his boxes. He is a workaholic with that Windsor energy. I always remember writing years ago that the Windsors don't walk anywhere, they run everywhere.
Well, we run when you're on the show, Ingrid, because we love having you on the programme. One of the finest journalists in the world on royal matters. Ingrid,
Seward described the moment Charles finished and turned to look at Camilla, and she smiled back as telling. Not staged, telling. Two people who built something real, visible under pressure, in public.
He's a very intelligent man, and he's a very principled man too, but he's an awkward character at times, and it seems that Camilla handles him perfectly.
I think that the Queen, the late Queen, our Queen Elizabeth II, was sure that with Camilla by his side, he would manage to be a great king. I think it gave her a lot of satisfaction to see Camilla there. And that's why she actually said, Queen Consort, because, Camilla might well have been happier being Queen Consort rather than being an anointed queen, because it just...
The contrast was not manufactured. It was simply there.
Well, certainly you could see how the king relies on Queen Camilla. When he was giving his speech to Congress, I'm sure everyone that was interested probably noticed, well, after he'd finished and there was this huge rounds of applause, and he looked at her and she smiled at him. And I thought that was a very telling moment. She's always done that. She's always said, darling, you were wonderful. And basically, well, we all like that, but I think the king in particular loves a bit of flattery, and Camilla is his best friend as well as being his wife and his queen.
Tacky. Seward does acknowledge one inconvenient truth that complicates the clean narrative. The Sussexes did not see the Australia trip as a disaster. They called it a success, which means we are not watching a couple in crisis who know they are in crisis.
I think probably things have to improve for the Sussexes, but they didn't see this trip to Australia as a disaster. They saw it as a huge success. So we're batting on different teams all the time. I mean, they think they've done really well there. And they probably, Australia, I think, rather enjoyed them because they're a bit of a, Harry and Meghan, let's go and have a look and see what they're doing now, is the attitude. So I'm not sure about what the Sussexes will do, but apparently they're going to do more of these tours because then Meghan, of course, can flog some more of her clothes.
We are watching a couple operating from an entirely different set of metrics. And that is perhaps the most significant finding in this entire conversation. Because if the feedback loop is broken, if the signal of celebrity withdrawal, fashion exclusion, and public criticism is not registering as signal at all, then no external event will course correct the trajectory.
I mean, they think they've done really well there. And they probably, Australia, I think, rather enjoyed them because they're a bit of a, Harry and Meghan, let's go and have a look and see what they're doing now, is the attitude. So I'm not sure about what the Sussexes will do, but apparently they're going to do more of these tours because then Meghan, of course, can flog some more of her clothes.
Tacky. The publicly available record here is straightforward. Pull Anna Wintour's guest lists from the Met Gala Foundation's published announcements. Cross-reference with Meghan Markle's attendance history. Then ask yourself one question in the comments below. Is this a brand that is evolving or one that has already peaked and doesn't know it yet? If this breakdown gave you something to think about like this video, share it with someone who's following this story, subscribe to Case and Consequence, and turn on notifications. We follow the evidence every time.